Hi, this is Bryan from WHITBY OSHAWA Honda, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to talk to you about something that's very, very important. If you're shopping for a vehicle, you need to look into safety. And I'm so proud of Honda because safety is one of the key pillars of the Honda brand. It's very important to the organization. In 2000, they were the first car company to open up their own special indoor facility. It was the first indoor multi-directional crash facility in the world. And that's a big deal. That really shows a lot about the commitment to Honda for their customers. I'm standing in front of a Honda Accord, which is just another IHS top safety pick for Honda. Honda believes in safety for everyone though. It doesn't have to be an Accord, it doesn't have to be a Pilot. Our lowest price vehicle is a Honda Fit. When it went through a major redesign in 2015, top safety pick there as well. So safety for everyone regardless of what kind of Honda you buy. There's two types of safety. There's active safety and there's passive safety. So active safety are things that will get you out of a crash to avoid a crash. And passive safety is, hey, you're in the crash and this is where things like airbags and structural and integrity go in. Now I'm going to talk about some active safety features that are in most new Hondas now, and that's called Honda Sensing. This is a really big deal. In fact, hopefully, if you're upgrading to a newer Honda, your insurance premium might actually go down. So what is Honda Sensing? It's a whole extra suite of driver-assisted safety technology. So in the Accord here, you can see a triangular cutout by the mirror, and there's actually a radar system built up front. So most Hondas, if they're equipped with the Honda Sensing, their vehicles are constantly scanning for pedestrians, vehicles, and the Hondas are going to be observing the lines on the road. So it's got a forward collision warning. If you come in too fast on something, if the vehicle's concerned, it'll be like, hey, brake, brake, brake. And if you ignore the warning under the right conditions, the vehicle will try to slow down or stop completely. So that's called the collision mitigation braking system. The best way to survive a crash is not to have one at all. It's also got a lane departure warning. So if you've got the system engaged, typically if you're driving over 72 kilometers per hour, if you start crossing over lines without signaling, the vehicle thinks that you're distracted or maybe severely fatigued. The steering wheel is going to vibrate. It'll say lane departure. It's kind of a way of saying, hey, wake up. And what's called the road departure mitigation system will try to nudge you back in the lane to keep you safe. There's two other features that I use every single day when I drive. One is adaptive cruise control, and the other one is lane keeping assist. And with Honda, you can use them separately. You don't have to use them together, so you can use them a la carte. So adaptive cruise control, let's say you're on the highway, for example, maybe you've got your cruise control pinned at 100 kilometers an hour. Let's say you creep up on another driver that's doing about 80. The vehicle's going to slow down to 80 for you. Or if another driver cuts you off and slows right down, if you're not paying attention, the vehicle's going to slow down automatically for you, always giving you safe stopping distance. And if the vehicle ahead of you moves out of the way, it'll go back to the intended speed that you set it for. And then if you engage lane keeping assist, the vehicle doesn't fight you, you're always in control, but it does provide some intuitive steering input to keep you centered in the lane. No other car companies have a similar feature like this, but the Honda one is superior because it keeps you centered in the lane and you're not going to be just going back and forth between the lines. And you may not or may not have what's called low speed follow. So with the way low speed follow works, let's say I was following you and we got the adaptive cruise control on and we slow down and stop at a light. Maybe you drive ahead of me, the light turns green. All I have to do is click resume and the vehicles will go back to the intended speed that you set it for. So again, the car does most of the driving for you in a really, really safe way. Absolutely awesome. Another cool benefit of having Honda Sensing, the vehicle may have what's called auto high beams. So imagine you're on a country road at night, for example, and you might be the only vehicle out there, you got your high beams on, you see a vehicle approaching, you turn them off and then back on, then off. Your Honda can see that the car's coming, so it'll do that for you. So it's trying to maximize your nighttime visibility. So if you got your headlights in the auto position, if it's equipped with Honda Sensing, you might notice your high beams come on automatically when there's no other cars around. That's deliberate, and that's for your safety and protection at night. Now let's talk about some passive safety. I'm just going to pop the hood here. Okay, so with Honda, you're paying for quality. And the vehicle will have what's called the ACE body structure. This is standard in all Hondas, and that stands for Advanced Compatibility Engineering. So again, you're paying for quality. So there's a high content of what's called high tensile steel. Now this is stronger than regular steel, but it's also less weight. And what will happen is, in the event of a collision, it's going to disperse the energy around the cabin versus going through the cabin. This is vital to your protection. Now, if you did get into a serious head-on collision, the engine mount's going to drop out completely. You may run over it, but it's not going to visit you and your friends and family in the cabin. Now the airbags deploy off what's called the dual stage airbag system. So depending on the nature of the collision, the airbags will deploy in whatever way is best suited for your protection. And I'm so proud of Honda for doing something. You get something called Hondalink Assist. Now, as long as your cell phone is paired up to the vehicle, if there was an airbag deployment, the car's going to call Honda. There's an operator standing by 7 days a week, 24 hours there. They can locate where you are, and help is on the way. I hope you never need it, but Honda's looking out for their customers, and I'm so proud of them for doing that. Now, all the Hondas will also have what's called VSC, or Vehicle Stability Assist, with traction control. With Vehicle Stability Assist, if you're in an uncontrolled driving situation and you might be oversteering or understeering, the Vehicle Stability Assist will try to help you regain control of the vehicle. This is really, really, really important. I should really point out part of the commitment from Honda, again, safety for everyone. The goal is zero. So 0 fatalities, 0 injuries, and 0, hopefully, collisions, period. In Canada this year, there's going to be over 100,000 people that will be injured in car accidents. So again, safety is really, really important. You're in very, very good hands with Honda. Now, I've attached some links below in this video. These are really, really important videos. You'll actually hear directly from the engineers that work on Honda safety, and you'll understand some of the commitment they have behind the work they do. They really care about you and your friends and family, and especially if you got little ones in the vehicle. I should point out, like a vehicle, I got the Odyssey right here. The Odyssey will have the highest rated child safety restraints. And Honda uses something called the latch system. So protecting little ones in a car is very important from Honda. If you're not sure about how to use some of the technology that might be in your existing Honda, go to hondahelp.ca if you're not familiar with this site. You can click on your vehicle, and there's some instructional videos on actually how to use some of the safety technology. And also, if you're not sure, you can come to WHITBY Oshawa Honda, and we'd be happy to show you again personally. All right, so something that's really, really cool and I love, almost all Hondas are compatible with Apple Carplay and Android Auto. There's only 2, the Fit and the Civic DX will not have compatibility with that, but almost all the Hondas do. So with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, there's no reason to be using your phone when you're driving, okay? People are still causing so many accidents by texting. You can do audible text messages, it'll play text messages for you. But you can also download an app called Waze, and it'll run through Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now the Waze app is really unique because other drivers, if they've reported any hazards on the road, potholes, debris on the road, maybe there's a car that's dead on the highway or off on a shoulder, everybody helps each other out, so there's additional safety by using the Waze app and the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So Honda's basically disrupted the industry with their safety standards. One of the tests in particular is called an overlap. Now, it's a really violent test if you see the video. The vehicle flies in a really high rate of speed and smashes a solid immovable object on the driver's side. Now, traditionally, when new cars come out, they go through a battery of crash tests, full frontal, side, rear collision. But the overlap is unique. Honda realized in the real world, straight head-on collisions don't occur very often. In fact, if you and I were going to be crashing into each other, there'd be some panic steering, and it's probably going to come in from the corner on the driver's side. So Honda's Ace body structure is designed to withstand a crash of that nature. Now, the other car companies, I don't want to point out who, but some of them don't fare as well. When the crash happens on the corner, what's been happening to a lot of our competitors, the steering wheel bends away from the driver and the airbag is deploying away from the occupant. So they're trying to catch up to Honda now. And Honda is actually the first car company to go beyond occupant protection. They ran into some crash test dummies, and they looked at what happens when a pedestrian gets struck by a vehicle. So Honda looked at the impact points, they softened the hood and the fenders, even the wiper blades will snap back if necessary, might just give someone a chance. But that just shows the commitment to safety that Honda has. And it's not just for their customers, it's everybody else that's out on the road too. So you're in very, very good hands with Honda. I chose to come to Honda for many reasons, but in particular, I wanted to be able to look a family in the eye with children and say, this car is safe for you and your family, and they deliver. So please, when you're shopping for a vehicle, consider all aspects of safety. I think you'll be really, really impressed. Please watch those links that I mentioned. You'll be really happy and impressed with Honda and their commitment to your safety. If you have any questions, by all means, you can come down to WHITBY Oshawa Honda. We love our customers here. I'm just really just scratching the surface. That's just a little bit about Honda safety. You can ask for me if you want. My name is Bryan Weir, but all the staff here care about you and your family, so safety is important. Come to WHITBY Oshawa Honda and we'll tell you the whole story in person. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and please drive safe out there.